Hey everybody, welcome to a Saturday morning live stream. My name is Paul Abernathy, CEO and founder of Electrical Code Academy Incorporated. Thanks for joining me today on a Saturday. I know you've got other things to do, but if you're somebody that's preparing for an electrical exam, wanting to take your game to the next level, and my dog welcomes you too, okay, then we're glad you could join us today for this live stream. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to show you some new stuff on our website that's hopefully going to make your journey a little bit easier when learning the National Electrical Code and preparing for an electrical exam. So I'm excited about it. And I'll also tell you about some new stuff that we got coming in 2024 because everybody likes a sneak peek of what's new. So I will talk about that at the end. Let's get to the main stuff this morning is how to prepare for an electrical exam. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're an apprentice or you're a journeyman and you're preparing for a master or you're an apprentice preparing for a journeyman exam. The stress is still there, right? It could be tied to your livelihood, promotion, some kind of advancement. Maybe you're an electrical inspector and again, you really need the NEC training to take your game to the next level. All that type of stuff is extremely important to you. So what we are known for is teaching you the National Electrical Code. That's what we're known for, okay? And so at the end of the day, what we've done here at ECA is we've trimmed the fat. So we got rid of our residential, commercial, and industrial. Of course, if you're still in that program, you can continue it as normal, but we've trimmed the fat. What we've done is we've removed those courses because they're post-licensing courses. And again, what we found is people just don't want to invest in themselves after they get their license. I know that sounds terrible, but based on our studies, the majority of the people do not. The big focus for us is to teach you the NEC. So with that effort, we are retooling a lot of things here at ECA to try to make that a little bit easier for you and to give you resources. Now, a lot of people are not familiar with all of our resources, and you really should be because a lot of them are free. So we're going to talk about all that today, and I'm going to tell you how to prepare for an electrical exam. Now, first thing, let me tell you something. If you've attempted to take an exam and you failed it, do not get discouraged, okay? Some of the best electricians I've ever known have struggled on exams. You can study your heart out and still have a problem on an electrical exam. A lot of times the questions are written in a way where you have to read it and dissect it. So we spend a lot of time in the Fast Tracks program, that's a program that we have, but I'm sure other educators do as well, to try to help you be able to look at a question and dissect it and get rid of the fluff, the crap that's not going to help you answer the question. That's a key thing. When you're looking at a question, you're like, dude, this is a lot of information. How do I get rid of the crap that's not going to help me? Okay, so that type of scenario. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, and I'll give you some of my tips and tricks to help you and how long you should study, how you should study, and of course, I do sell programs, but what I'm going to tell you today is going to be generic across the board as well. But I am going to show you some new products that we've introduced into our program that might help you achieve more success on an electrical exam, because people have been asking for more questions, more databases, so we got them. Okay, we got them. All right, so let's real quick though, let's go and acknowledge some folks in the room, and then we'll get into the lesson. So if you're in the room, shout out, let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're studying for an electrical exam. Let me know when you're planning on taking your exam, all that kind of stuff. And then feel free to ask your questions on preparing for an exam. How long should you prepare? What should you do? Are questions and answer databases the only way to study? Are they the best way to study? Should you focus on calculations more than NEC lookup? Ask me any question you want. This is an episode for you to ask those questions. Good morning, Oscar. Welcome to the stream. Anthony, preparing for an inspector's exam, ICC or Prometrics or whatever. Again, getting ready. Buenos dias, Odin. It's about as much Spanish as I know, but welcome. Have I ever heard of J Learning? I'm not sure if you're talking about Jade Learning or whatever. It's just another offering. I think ours is better. Of course, that's me. I'm biased because I think you get more. I think you get me. I think you get resources that I bring. So obviously I'm biased, but any education is good education. Okay. Anything that can teach you the NEC is good. Right. And so people that know me know that I am hyper focused on teaching the NEC. And I just have a specialty for teaching people calculations and breaking down questions and understanding the NEC. Okay, so I will show you some resources and make some announcements here in a little bit. So Schwartzy, welcome. Anthony, absolutely, ICC. And E1, E2, E3. Obviously, our programs are perfect for that type of thing, as well as exam prep or for the plans examiner as well. Good news is on the plans examiner or ICC, you're really not doing any calculations. Okay, it's just more intense understanding the navigation in the NEC and things like that. So, hey, Larry, welcome for joining, preparing for your journeyman. Okay, enjoying the fast tracks. Excellent, excellent. All right, so let's kind of dig into some things here real quick. Let me come back to me. And then I will, if your questions, you got anything, I'll pop them up on the screen, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions about exam prep, your fears, your worries. Just remember, I don't deal locally, so I can't get into local. In other words, what your local test is going to do, okay, and that type of thing. Anthony, exam prep is good for any exam based that deals in the NEC. So the only thing to be careful on is when the residential E1 for ICC, they really want to focus on the IRC, which has the NEC in it. But as long as you know the NEC, they'll work fine, that type of thing. Now, once you do E2 or E3, then it's all NEC based. So yes, our exam prep programs are perfect for ICC exams as well. In fact, I have had the ICC E1, E2, E3. I held all of those licenses at one point. Or certifications, I should say. All right, let's get back to talking to me real quick here. If you got any questions, feel free to post them. All right, so some of the questions that I get from folks is, how long should I study for an electrical exam? Okay, so you might have been an electrician for 30, 40 years, and you're just now, what's up, TikTokers? If you're watching me on TikTok, come on over here to the YouTube channel and watch us live. Come on over. Get away from that TikTok channel. Leave that thing. Get away from that thing. Come on over here to your YouTube. All right? Or better yet, you can watch on Fast Track's Tube as well. Okay. That's Paul in his sales mode today. All right. So, how long should you prepare for an electrical exam? Well, typically we like to recommend about 3 months, 90 days. Because it's a lot of information to absorb, and taking an exam is extremely stressful. So if you wait until the last minute, or you think your knowledge is at this certain level and you go to the last week and then you start doing some practice exam questions, or you start doing something and you start getting some wrong, and then the stress level starts to rise. And that stress level is going to carry over into the exam. Because I don't know how many people tell me they were on the exam and the first 2 questions they got on the exam, they really felt like they wasn't part of their study protocol. And they go, oh, crap. And then they start getting in their mind they're not ready. Don't do that. That's why we do the 3-wave method. That's why we talk about it. That's why I have a video explaining it. If you have not watched my 3-wave method video, you need to watch the video. Because you should never take an exam without preparing with a strategy, a plan. And so for those that go in that might have extremely good knowledge of the code, get on an exam and still screw up. And the reason for that is you didn't really have a plan. that type of thing. Okay. What is Odin? Odin says, when I grow up, I want to be a TikToker king like Jay. Jay loves his TikTok. Ain't no doubt about that. He is definitely a TikToker. That's for sure. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got here? All right. So at the end of the day, let's think about 90 days study, prepare for 90 days. And what you want to do is find a structured program. And nothing worse than spending 90 days. I recommend 90 days. I spend 90 days and all you're doing is flipping back and forth through the code book, right? So maybe you're doing the 2020, you got your code book. You got it tabbed out. You got some tabs. You got a book from Jay over on the Whack Hat King. You bought your code book and you have no freaking idea what to study. You know you have an idea what might be on an exam, but you don't know, hell, I'm just reading it randomly, hoping that what I read might pop up on an exam, right? The other thing that people might do is they might go buy a book or something with just exam questions in it that really doesn't give explanations. They're just questions, just that type of thing. That's not good either, because that's just giving you questions that other people have written and you really don't know. Okay, so that's a tough way for you to study. Really, you're setting yourself up for failure. Now, have people succeeded before all this technology was here? Absolutely, they have. And so, again, if anything, studying, give yourself at least 3 months to prepare. Now, that's not to say that all of a sudden you're like, damn, I'm ready. I want to take it next month. I've got 30 days. Does that mean you can't do it? Absolutely not. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means that you're going to have to really focus. You're going to have to shut family off. As bad as that sounds, don't do it during the holiday, but you got to shut everybody off and get into that mindset. Because once you get that license, you got it. They can't take it away unless you totally screw up. As long as you do your renewal credits and do your CEUs, which we have available on our website through a partnership. If you need to get continuing education credits in your state, we offer those with a partnership. So check that out. But at the end of the day, as long as you get it, they can't take it away from you unless you get in trouble, and we can't fix that. Okay? So we understand getting past that hurdle. So give yourself 90 days to study if you can help it. Okay. So now let me talk about how you would do this in the 90 days. But let's see, we got a couple of questions we want to bring up on the screen here. Anthony says, is that through a different tab on ECA's website? You're not going to see anything labeled ICC because all of our stuff is just NEC. NEC. Okay. The other stuff that and I've taken the exams for the exam prep. I mean, the plans examiner for ICC. Trust me, it's just NEC based. As long as you know how to look on a blueprint, and as long as you know how to pick things, again, our Fast Tracks program, Black, for example, gives you a set of blueprints to look at as well. That thing. So the principles and practice, nobody teaches you for that. That is what you should know as an electrician. You get me? Practices, principles. That's stuff that we can't teach. If you don't know that already, then we can't help you with that. Now, part of our Wednesday night sessions for students is that we will do things like series and parallels. We've got videos for that. We've got Ohm's law. We've got those type of principles. Voltage drop. Those are examples of principles. So we covered that, but it's really hard and stick around, Anthony, because I do have some announcements here at the end about some new courses and new stuff that we're offering. But we have plenty of people have passed their plans examiner exams, ICC stuff with our normal NEC programs. Nothing overtly special about it on the exam. Okay. Question, somebody says, are your questions similar to the state exams? Code questions are code questions. So you got 50 states. Everyone does their own thing. Whether they're PSI or Prometrics, or they all do their own thing. So you can't have a code question's a code question. What I can tell you is our students overwhelmingly come back and say, you know what? We had questions on the exam that were almost exactly verbatim like your questions because we use databases. We don't write these questions ourselves. We use databases from other resources that we purchase rights to for that reason. Okay. And I'm getting off track here, but please shoot your questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. So keep shooting them. I'm more than happy to answer them. But when you say, are they tailored for the state? Code is code. How many of you always heard me say that? Code is code. So the questions are very much similar. Now, in our Fast Tracks program, Unit 8, 11, and 13, for example, where we get into calculations, then that is most certainly going to get you ready for exam type questions, things like that. Okay. So that's one of the things that to be familiar with on that. Okay. Let's see here. I think Anthony is very detailed as usual. So he's got a lot of questions. Let's see. Principles of practice. Exam, non-electrical. Oh, Florida. You're talking about Florida ICC. Yeah, we only do electrical, Anthony. So we don't do building contractors. We don't do anything like that. We do not deal in that type of stuff. So good. I'm glad you clarified. We only do the National Electrical Code. That's it. I'm not involved in anything other than that. Now, with that said, we have a partner program where you can get all the books necessary for you to study for that. Okay, and I can show you that really quickly, and then I'll get back to my track because I'm getting off track. But let me show you real quick. So on our website right here, Anthony, you could go up to courses, and you'll see that down here in courses, we have the business law and all that kind of stuff. Click on it, and then you'll scroll down and you'll see Florida, electrical contractor. When you click on that, okay, then let's see here. You'll get here, you'll see our partnership, and you'll see right here, Florida Business and Financial, all that Florida Business and Financial exam, Florida Contractor Project Administration exam, all this kind of stuff in partnership that we offer with all that. Okay, so those are available. Okay, so again, that's just if you want those other things that we don't, the business law and stuff like that, are all through there as well. Okay, so let's see if I get back to me. So that is definitely, but we only focus on the National Electrical Code. That's it. So we do not do contractor licensing. Okay, now the electrical portion of it, we got you covered, but we don't get into those other things. We have no desire to get into those other things. Okay. Let's see here. Larry says 90 days, 99 hours a week. Yeah, about 9 hours. We say that the sweet spot is 8 hours, 2 times a week, 4 hours each session. Or you know what? You can break it up as you want, Larry. You could actually study none, whether it's our program or anybody's program. That's the magic number. Okay, between 95 and 100 hours in a 3-month period is the optimum schedule. So 5 times a week, 5 days a week of the study week, Monday through Friday. You know, weekends try to be family. Then you do 2 sessions of 4 hours each, or you could do 5 days of 2 hours each day, kind of so you don't get overwhelmed and things like that. So yeah, that is a real option either way for you to study, but you have to focus. So you have to cut everybody off during that period. Okay. So let's see here. Anthony took some of our continuous ed through partner. Yeah, At Home does a great job. That's why we don't do it, because I reviewed all of their exam, their renewal stuff. It's just code. It's just updates. I reviewed it and I said, why should I recreate the wheel? I'm exam prep. I'm a specialty in exam prep. So we partnered with them and they offer a great job. And all of you out there, I endorse their continuing education programs 100%. And it's not going to cost you any more to go through us, so you go through them. It's the same price, but you do help us out by going through us. So if you're out there and you believe in us and you want to get your license renewal, it helps us a little bit by doing our partnership. But we appreciate it. Thank you, Anthony, for doing that. All right. So let's see here. See, James says, Paul, I have ADHD that comes from poor reading comprehension. Any tips? I have it too. James, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that ADHD, attention deficit disorder, I go all over the place. It's hard to focus. Our course was created with that in mind. That's why we have the reading feature. It reads to you. It's why it's on separate screens and it's very condensed with images and graphics. It's designed for those like me and you that have the ADHD concept. Now, I've had it. For me, it's just I got so many things going on. I'm bouncing all over the place, but the tips for you would be to, when you learn reading, to focus on your reading comprehension. So here's my tip for you, James. If you get a database of questions, and hold on, folks, because I'm going to announce to you, you two TikTokers, I'm going to announce to everybody, we have added some new database that you can just get the database if you want it. If you're studying and you want to, you're like, okay, I think I have a pretty good grasp of it, but I just want some database questions to help, knock off the edge and things like that. I've got an announcement for later. But what is when you get a questions, James, rather than try to answer the question quickly, like if you get something, people say, let's time it, and you got 2 hours to do it, ignore that. Take a question, read it, dissect it, try to look up all the words in it that might be in the index of your code book. That's called dissection. When somebody has reading comprehension, you don't want to just read a question and try to answer it, especially guess it and you get it wrong and go, oh crap, I got it wrong, right? You want to take a question and don't matter if it takes you 10 minutes a question. That's what we have to do for us that have those reading comprehension issues. And look, I serve on code panels. I look at a lot of code proposals and things like that. I have to read stuff over and over again. I have to highlight it, dissect it, because sometimes even when somebody submits a public input, it's so much, they talk in circles that I'm trying to see what the hell they're trying to change. And that's when I have to do it as well. So I'm just like you. I'm just like all you electricians out there. I have to read stuff multiple times. The good news is once I understand it, that's why I create videos and training in order to expand it out there to people and basically interpret it so that it's easier for others to understand. And that's what I do. And so my advice to you, James, is when you get some code questions, whether you have our database of questions or you have your own, don't be in a hurry. Answer them, take your time, dissect it, and then see, it lets you get to know the index much better. Hopefully that helps you out in that question. Let's see, keep the questions coming, folks. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have about exam prep. Okay, so let's see, we covered 90 days. If you can't give it 90 days, then it just means you're going to have to dedicate more time and you're going to have to really focus and cut off everything else around you. When it's time to study, find a quiet location and study. Okay. The next tip I'm going to tell you when you're studying for an electrical exam is, and this is going to be an old school tip that we've kind of modernized in our Fast Tracks program. In the new database that we're going to be offering a little later, also has these built in as well. So you ready for this? Some of you do this already, and you've heard me preach about it for years, okay? All right, so what I want to advise people to do is create flashcards. I know it's time consuming, but it's a good time consuming. So what you should do, if you're in our Fast Tracks program or you buy the new database that I'm going to be talking about a little later, excited for that. It's affordable and it's a nice database for all you out there that don't have our program. Because if you have our program, this is available to you already. But if you don't, you just want a good database of questions, over 750, hang around. I've got some news for you. So look, so here's the deal. Create flashcards. Go to the dollar store. If you don't have electronic versions like we're going to talk about or it's in our program, go to the dollar store. Pick up some 3x5 flashcards. You can get them in a stack of 500 or whatever, 200, whatever it is. First thing you should be doing is bring them home, go through the front of your code book, and create a flashcard for every item in the table of contents, okay? Every article, okay? Create a flashcard for it, okay? Now, also, you want to create a flashcard for every table. Now, part of you creating these, whether they're electronic or physical, is because it starts to train your mind. And you believe it or not, subliminal learning helps you retain something, right? Okay. So, one of those things to remember is that as you physically do them, you will get, your memory will remember these things. So, this is the real reason why I want you to do flashcards. Now, if you're in our program, the 2023 edition, we made it so that you have to create all of your own flashcards to push you into doing it. In the 2020 and the 2017 Fast Tracks program, we gave you some of them already, although I encourage you, they're not based on every article. They're not based on every key table or other. So I encourage you to still make those. Okay, I encourage that because that's important to me. But in the 2023 version of our Fast Tracks, you create your own. So we're kind of forcing you because we saw statistically, I watch how many people use their flashcards. Remember, if you're in our program, I'm Big Brother. I can see everything you do in your session. Okay. So I can tell when you're using the flashcards and when you're not. So what we determined is in 2023, we want you to be able to create your own and not distract you. Now, with that said, the new database that I'm going to talk about later, it's going to give you some of those flashcards already pre-done. Okay, so if you don't get the flexibility to create your own, that's only available to our Fast Track students. So that's a perk to become one of our students. Okay, enough of that. So create your flashcards. What should you create them on? Every article, so that on one side of it, you put Article 210, on the other side, branch circuits. 215, feeders. Okay, 225, outdoor branch circuit and feeders. Create the cards. 430, motors. Create these cards on every article. And at the end of any learning session, before you go to bed, before you finish, you want to pick up those cards or go into your program and work your flashcards. Just work them. If you don't know it, flip it and look at the answer and say, oh, okay, I got it. Folks, I'm not just saying this to say it. I have been doing this for 34 years. It is successful. Back when I was studying for my licenses, I used flashcards. It just so happens we've modernized it now and we have electronic flashcards. Okay, and you can literally create a flashcard on anything, that type of thing. But you should get them. They're cheap. If you're not in our program and you're studying with somebody else's program, that's fine. But go get some index cards. Create your flashcards. Most certainly, that is one big tip I can give you. Okay. Now, for those that are in our program, it's pretty simple. They already, again, into it, and you can see in the console where the flashcards are. And if you're in the 2023, create your own. Okay. Make sense? Okay. The next tip I'm going to give you for preparing for an exam has to do with the last 24 hours before you're ready to take the exam. Okay. You do not need to be studying and doing anything. If you did it right, if you did everything you're supposed to do, you followed a structured plan. And when we say structured exam prep plan or structured learning the code plan, what do we mean? What we mean is rather than taking this code book, right, and just flipping through this thing and taking a guess on where you might be tested on, that's just a wild ass guess. When we say structured, you need to make sure that the program you're getting is not just questions only. If you're really fresh and you're starting into this new and you really got to get your license and you're giving it 90 days, okay, they're not the answer. Just getting quote code questions are not the answer. So that's what's neat about our database is we're going to give you more than just code questions. But I keep alluding to that new database. Teasers, folks, teasers. Just stick around. Just stick around for those that want it. All right? And it makes a great supplement to what you're already doing. But if you're in a Fast Track, you don't need it because it's already included. Okay, so that's a great news for Fast Tracks people, right? Okay. So 24 hours before your exam, enjoy the family. Relax. Don't let crap creep into your mind. Just relax. If you haven't prepared properly to this point, then you know what? Then you need to postpone your exam. Because if you start thinking that you're going to cram in the last 24 hours enough information, okay, It's not going to work. It is not going to work. Okay. Richard, love all the content. Then you're going to be excited about my announcement a little later too. Okay. And if you're all of you that I'm going to show you some additional resources as well, but you're going to be excited about some additional announcements. I promise you. Okay. Let's see here. Let me just get situated here. Okay. So Richard, hang with us, buddy. Let's see here. Anthony says, not for nothing, but 4 years ago when I first started following you, you gave me advice of lock yourself in your office. That literally is what I did. And I can't tell you how much that helped to have a space where it was just me and my thoughts. Absolutely. I used to bring my material everywhere. I would study on the lunch hour. Chances are I got, and I couldn't begin to tell you how much that helped. Yeah. You have to study. You have to create your own space. And look, life gets in the way. Okay. You know, I talk about the CMECP program a lot and why people don't succeed in that program, why the percentage of fail is so high. And it's because when people embark on that Certified Master Electrical Code Professional program, they have too much temptation of life. The wife comes in, the kids come in, you feel guilty, you want to spend that time with the family. I get it. Life is short, but sometimes you have to separate things down and say, look, for this period of time, I'm going to focus. I've got to block everything else out. And overwhelmingly, the number of people that fail in our CMECP program, the number one people, whether you know, if you're good enough to earn one of these, okay, if you're good enough to earn one of these pins, what I find out is that it's time management. Life just gets in the way. They have 6 months to finish, and then they just don't finish. That's the biggest thing. It's not about code. Code's easy. We teach you that. We structure that for you. It's time management. That's where people seem to struggle. So again, Anthony, great comment. You've got to lock yourself. You got to focus and say, you know what? Once I get this license, I'm done for a while until maybe I want to go to my master's, and then I can re-gear and focus. Okay, that type of thing. What has Schwartzy got to say here? Let's see here. Schwartzy says, and Schwartzy always has his typing issues. Sorry, Schwartz. This is a Florida contractor. I wrote still test, general code, style tests. Take it if you dare. Take two. Okay. I am assuming over on the Sparky Hub, we have an exam prep or exam test that Schwartzy has put up there for the Florida General Contractor's License, or the general part of it that's on there, like fire alarm and other type of stuff. So Schwartzy has been helping over on that resource. So that takes me to the next tip. You ready? People ask me, what resources do I have to learn the code? So we give you a structured program. If you don't have our course, I gave you some tips on how to study. I gave you some time frame on how to study. I told you to get some index cards or use our electronics. Now I'm going to show you another resource, okay? Folks, take advantage of resources, okay? That's what they're there for. So let me show you. Ready? Okay. Over on our website, free resource time, folks, we have changed the look, okay? So over here on our website, and you notice the new link right here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'll talk about that later. So see what we've got now is, look at the top. Look at the top. Okay. It says live chat rooms, message forum. Okay. Live chat room, message forum. What the heck is that all about? Well, I'm going to click on the message forum. This is a free service for everybody, okay? Click it, and I'm going to show you what you got, okay? Now, here's what we got. This is our Sparky Hub. Right now, it's easy to get to it. Now you just go to our website, click on the link for the forum. Super easy to get to. Make sure you come up here and register for a free, okay, a free account. If you don't like the color scheme, you want it lighter, then you can click this right here and it'll change it to a different color scheme. So that's the black color scheme. and there's the white color scheme, whichever one you like. You got a bunch of quick links here, so you can go to unanswered topics, so you don't have to search around. But once you come in here, look at the forums. You got general electrical discussions. We got things you can ask about our live sessions, maybe something you want me to talk about during a live session. NEC Code Forum, grounding and bonding. Questions about our program can be posted here. We have some online training courses that are free, even some business courses. We have some blogs, okay? All of our announcements are right here, okay? This is a free resource for you folks. It doesn't cost you a dime. A dime. We're giving this to you. Why is this important during your study? Well, I'll tell you why, because let me log in. So once you're logged in, we have an interesting little chat feature here at the top, so you can let everybody know you're in here. This is, you're all family once you get in here. So I'll go, what's up? Fast Tracks family. Okay, if I can type, I just got just as bad typing problems as Swartzy there. And there you go. And you see, it updates it. Swartzy, there you go. Good morning. He was in here at 9:03. Good morning, all. Swartzy's always in here, keeping up to date, keeping everything up to date. He's our moderator for this forum. He wields a heavy hand, but he's in here. All right, so here you see the special folder just for Fast Track students. So this is where we have videos and other stuff that's just for Fast Track students, our members. But see all these other forums? Now here's what I want to show you. Electrical discussion. Look at here what Swartzy's done for you, folks. You want to know about resources? Check this out. Code questions. Look at this. Swartzy has been at work creating tons of code questions for you. Look, if you're trying to pass your exam, this is invaluable to you. You can't put a price on this because our members are spending that extra time creating questions for you to hone your skills. And you get to interact, you get to have a discussion, you get to talk about it, do everything. This is a free resource. So anybody studying for an electrical exam or trying to learn the NEC should use our free forum. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Now, also another resource that you see while you're here on the screen is while it lasts, if you want to join our video platform, it's fasttrackstube.com. It's 50% off. You get access to our videos, and that's part of my next announcement, interactive videos and things like that. But anyway, 50 off will get you access to that if you're interested in that, okay? All right, let me get back to it. All right, so this is a neat resource, okay? So now, let me show you another resource. So we're back at our website, okay? Just our normal website. These are free stuff now. I'm not trying to sell you courses. These are free. This is free, okay? Not charging anything for this. Over here where it says live chat rooms. Log in. Now, you don't even have to create an account if you already signed up on our website. You use the same information that you would use to log in fasttracksystem.com. It's the same login information, okay? But I'm going to log in. And here you get even more resources, okay, when you log in. So here you see questions of the day. Check this out. This is where a lot of the members, especially Swartzy, Dustin, and Ted and all that, will come in here and post questions. Interaction. This is a great place if you're just sitting around, and it works great on a mobile phone. It's very adaptive. In fact, you can even download it as an app on your phone. It's interesting as well on that. When you go, it'll ask you if you first visit it, if you want to put it on your phone. This is where you can you go ask questions, okay, and get things posted. Now, here's something else that's neat about this forum. It's free. But you can come over here to the navigation window and see right here where it says contact an admin. If you click on that, it'll send a notice to me as well as to Mike. And we might not be there live for you, or maybe we're busy, but that means if you're going to post a question, then you know that we're going to be notified. and we're going to come and try to answer that question for you, give you some guidance. And that way you know to come back later and we'll have answered that question for you. Now, if we're online, we'll come right away. Okay? Who else does that? What other program out there, name whatever educator you want, anywhere, what other program out there offers this kind of stuff for free? This is free. We're not charging for this. Okay, now there's other forums as well on here, just so y'all know the different groups that we have. If you got a customer support question, we have a customer support forum. You can post your question here if you got a question about the program. If you just want to chat, there's a Let's Chat forum. You can chat about anything you want here. Just come in and chat, okay? So again, we are trying to give you as many resources as we can, but the beautiful thing about this, right, is that it is all available on fasttracksystem.com. Now we've added the links at the very top, okay? How's that? You can't get any easier than that. So that's my resource, second resource. I got a couple more, but that's that. So look, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but you got questions, you want to have a great conversation. Maybe you're tired of other message boards where people seem to jump on you, prance on you. You're afraid to ask a question because somebody might say that's a stupid question. You might be belittled or whatever. I can promise you that will never, ever happen on these free forums. So just go on our website, click message forum, join it, register, post your question, okay? Or interact with other people. Now, there's some neat features on there at the top left that let you jump around and see unanswered forums, unanswered questions, so you can jump around, and that way it keeps you up to date. I believe it. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. Let me tell you this. I just figured out this feature was there 2 days ago. Mike probably already knew it. I just figured it out. So I'm able to go in and search for any questions that have been posted that I haven't answered yet or that haven't been addressed. So now I can get to your questions even quicker, or Mike can get to your questions, or you can jump to questions that have been unanswered or open questions that maybe you want to answer. And also another feature we've done is we've opened up the ability to add attachments and use different types of bowls and a bunch of neat stuff over on the forum. It's free. Check it out. That's just a free resource. Not trying to sell you anything. Okay? Just saying. Okay. So let's talk about some of the changes that are going to take place. If you got any questions, you still want to ask them, please feel free to post them. I will pop them up on the screen in being able to do that for you. Swartzy says it's over on the Sparky Hub. So he put a test over there. And so it's over there. And it's basically, if you're preparing for the Florida exam, Mike's taking the exam. So it's a beautiful resource to help those for that as well. Okay. Michael, we should work together and create a course that is dedicated to Florida's thing. And I will put together a program for you. So let's talk. And because again, for those that have done the building licensing exam for a contractor, we can create something. I don't want to create it from scratch. But if you want to be involved with it and work on it and create it, that'd be your course as an instructor for us. We'd love to do it. I focus on the NEC, so I don't really get into local stuff. All right, let's do some more stuff. I want to show you some other things, something that was just added. Okay, so now y'all waited around. Those that waited around, let me show you what I've added. If you're not a Fast Track student, but you're studying the code, maybe you're from TikTok, and you're coming over here to YouTube is where you should be. All of my stuff is at Master the NEC. For any of you folks that are on YouTube, TikTok, follow me over on my social medias, Master the NEC. It's on all the platforms. It's Master the NEC. So it doesn't matter whether it's Facebook, YouTube, whatever, all that. Master the NEC. Okay, back to you folks. So what we want to do is I want to show you some new resources that we've added. And then I'll tell you some of the changes that I haven't released yet formally. But I want to let y'all know about it first. Okay. All right. So let's go here real quick. So what you might see is that we've added a new section here. Exam questions only and more database. So you might be saying, what the crap is that all about? What do you mean exam questions only and more? How can it be exam questions only and more? Okay, let me explain. Through a partnership and agreement, we've been able to bring the database that was previously just available to the fast track students. We have now been able to open it up. Okay, so I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like to get there. So first of all, you click on that. And here you're going to see all of our traditional courses, okay? Fast Tracks, Black, and Plus, okay? But you'll see these. These are new, okay? Kind of stylish looking little icons, right? All right, so what we've added now is a journeyman and 2 master electrician databases. Now, these databases are amazing. One, because it's not only going to give you a ton of questions that are timed if you want to use the timer or not, but it's also going to give you access to quizzes like DC, AC current, transformers, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's type of thing. I do see a question I want to address that James asks. Does the Fast Tracks Black have transformer calculations? It gets into the basic calculations. It doesn't get overly deep in it, but that's why you come to the Wednesday night sessions, because it just so happens to be that we have an entire video series on transformers. And it just so happens that this coming Wednesday, I'm doing a session on transformers. That's what you get with our Fast Tracks programs, the Black and the Plus, is the access to me on Wednesday nights. And that's where I do different courses, different added stuff, supplementary stuff. Because most of your electrical exams when it comes to transformers are going to be very basic, right? They're going to try to explain under the principles, under just theory. It's understanding a kVA of a transformer and whether it's 208, 120, or whether or not it's 480. How to do the math in order to determine what the amp rating is of that transformer. Most exams are not going to get overly deep into things like primary protection, secondary conductor rules, and 240.21 and all those type of things. But we do in extra videos. And get excited because I'm going to mention something here in a minute again. I said it. I'm holding you out to the end. But we have great plans for 2024. I'm excited. There's a reason why we discontinued our residential, commercial, and industrial. Okay, there's a reason. So I'm gonna get you excited, but we got to finish this first. All right. So here's the new programs. As you can see, they're $119, and this is going to give you access to that database. Now let me just click on here and show you. So this is what you got. It's over 750 question database. All right, that you're going to get access to. All right, and so when you get access to that database, what you're going to get is some amazing stuff. Okay, so let me share you what you're going to get in partnership. This is what you're going to get in our partnership. You're going to get access to all of these things. You got quick quizzes, direct current, transformer quizzes. Okay, here the ratio of a transformer is the ratio of the what? Current to voltage, volt ampere rating to primary voltage, voltage primary to secondary voltage, primary current to secondary current. Okay, you get all this. You also get reference, so it shows you the answer here. Primary voltage to secondary voltage. Okay, so primary voltage to secondary voltage, correct. You even have a glossary that you get as well. So this is amazing addition through our partnership that we can bring you this database. Okay, but not only that, you get flashcards, so you can get this standalone. Okay, and you get flashcards on all of these topics: motors, okay, variable frequency drive, an electronic unit designed to control the speed of a motor during a solid state components. Means the variable frequency drive or I'm trying to think of just VFDs. What we're doing is trying to change the speed of the motor through a solid state component structure. But you get these flashcards, feeder conductor, a conductor that carries more than one load at a time. For example, a feeder to a panel that's got other branch circuits in it. So you get all these database stuff. Okay, you get a voltage drop calculator. This is pretty wicked to play with if you want. All right, you get media library. Cool, check this out. Okay,
Box fill is the total volume of all conductors, devices, and fittings contained within an electrical box. The size of the box to be installed is determined by the box fill.
All right, so there's so much here. Ohm's law, voltage drop, procedure for determining the NEC answers. Awesome. This is big tips in here. Nameplates for motors, understanding the nameplates for motors. But here's the biggest thing. For 119, you're getting all of this database of questions, right? So let me give you an example. Here's database of questions. You can start a timer if you want. But here's where you should dissect the question. Literally try to dissect the question, okay? The purpose of the National Electrical Code is for the practical safeguarding of both persons and property. So both A and B. Here's your code reference. It's got a built-in calculator right here. So you don't have to have your calculator when you're working online. You get 25 of these, okay? So here, as you can see, you get a bunch of them. Plus you get these licensing exams. Here, you start the timer. There's 100 questions. Boom. References are all here. So you get all of this, folks. All of this is now in our database, okay? So that's amazing to be able to offer all of that for the 119. Now, when you order this, you'll get it within 2 business days. You'll get your instructions on how to get into it, how to utilize it, all that kind of stuff. So it is amazing to be able to offer you that. So it's more than just questions, folks, in this database. Now, I should remind students that are fast track students, this is already available to you in your program. It was an upgrade we made a couple months ago. And the only one that it's not available in is the 2017. It's only available in the 2020 and 2023. Okay. So that is something new we have added to it. Now, the other thing that we've added is over on the mobile app. Okay. When you get our mobile app, so you just go to the mobile app and get it. We do have a 100-question mobile database as well, which works just from your phone. So that's another thing that you can work from your phone. But to be honest with you, this database that you get works perfectly great on a mobile phone. And the instructions that we give you are going to make it so simple, you can use them anywhere and practice with those database, watch the videos. So that is something that is so new to our program. Okay, so we're excited about offering those. If you're not in our courses, you really need good questions. And we have a 100-question database that's available that you can purchase. But for this price, you're getting over 750 plus videos, plus everything. Okay, so again, it's a great resource that we want you to. We think that you'll really enjoy it. And so again, that's some of the new things that we're adding here in. So let's talk about something big. What's coming for 20? So you made it to the end. Let me talk about what's coming in 2024 when it comes to our videos in our training. You ready? Over on fasttracksystem.com, we're going to be offering shorter lessons with interactive video, which means that you'll be able to tap the screen. You see something on the screen. We might do a video for defects, and you tap a certain picture of your screen, whether it's on your phone or on our website or on the browser, and it will be interactive with you. That's something we're adding. Also, we're going to be bringing the Fast Tracks program. You ready, TikTok? We're going to be bringing the Fast Tracks program to life, video, in 2024. So that's going to got to give us a little time because it's not going to be out right away. But we're going to be bringing it where I do interactive and I actually do commentary on the lessons. And that way I can give you some insight and things like that. All right. So that is going to be coming in that scenario for that. Okay. So that's going to be just a video version of our Fast Tracks program. Okay. So that's going to be coming. And so we're excited for that. It's an awful lot of videos, but we're geared up to do it. We're going to start it January 1st. We're going to be starting production. So hopefully it'll start to run live probably around March. That's our plan to do that. Okay. All right. Well, that's a lot of stuff. If you're interested in any of that stuff, we encourage you to check it out. Joel says no 27 exam prep questions. Yeah, in our fast tracks program, absolutely. But separately, nope, we're not doing it. We've moved on. We're in 2020 to 2023. We do have a database that's available with the Fast Tracks Black for the 2017, but in the Fast Tracks 2017 Plus. But we're not offering a separate database for the 2017 that you can purchase. Not going to do it. Everybody's pretty much moving on to 2020 and 2023. We are just not going to get that database up and going at this time. Sorry about that. All right. But we do have the database available over in the Fast Tracks Black. That database is already there. It's already in our program. And it not only gives you 2017, but it also gives you 2014. So it kind of covers two editions in there for the questions. But for as far as those standalone databases, we're not going to be offering that for the 2017. Okay. Sorry. All right. Let's see. That's it. Let's see what Larry says. What types of questions can be expected on a journeyman exam? Well, journeyman exams typically have less full-blown calculations, right? They usually have just pieces of like, do you know how to do 3 VA per square foot calculation for the general lighting and general use receptacle applications? They don't really get deep into deep motor calculations. Journeyman typically doesn't get deep into transformer calculations, things like that. So journeyman exams typically don't get that deep into those deep level calculations, but they will get into things like understanding continuous load. You need to understand overcurrent protection, how to do the breakers for continuous load, and all those type of things. How to size for continuous and non-continuous loads, like 125% of continuous and 100% of non-continuous. You need to understand the basic features of a residential layout. Okay, you need to be able to understand the 3 VA per square foot. You need to understand the small appliances. Be familiar with the standard method of calculating for a single family dwelling. Those type of things. That's typically the kind of stuff that you'll see on a journeyman exam. Also, on a journeyman exam, you're probably going to have a larger level of theory type of questions, right? Whereas Ohm's law, Watt's law, things like that is probably because that's more from an apprentice to the journeyman level. They want to make sure that you're more familiar with that type of thing. Okay, so you're probably going to see more of that. Whereas the masters gets more into the complex type. Now, the one thing I will tell you about our Fast Tracks programs is we don't differentiate, right? We don't go journeyman, master. Now, the reason for that is pretty simple. Let me explain why I do it that way. Because I am a believer that I need to prepare you to continue your journey. So I don't want to give you just enough to get a master's license and leave out some complicated calcs. I don't want to do that. So I could do that with our program, right? I could just cut you off at like unit 10 and be done with it, or unit 8 and be done with it. But we have 19 units. So the first part is more dealing with residential and more lookup skills, right? And the basic calculations you need. Whereas once you get to 10 through 19, it starts to get more commercially, right? Other than dwelling applications. So we could break that up, but that's not my style. I like to teach people to know the code. I don't want to cater to your dollar, right? That's why we create things. We try to make it as cost effective as we can, all right, for what you get. That's why we're always giving you more. That's why we give you the forum. That's why we give you the chat feature, which now is accessible from our website directly. You just click right and go. All of that type of stuff we try to do to make things a little easier for you to be more affordable. Okay. You'll notice we got rid of the membership program. Okay. We got rid of that. because it just made it complicated. We don't want it to be complicated. Also, another big announcement. I will be learning this weekend whether or not I can effectively get extensions back going. So for anybody who might be caught up in a purge, and we're getting ready to do a purge maybe this weekend, I'm not sure, where you lose access to your course if it's over a year, because these are 12-month courses generally, except for the budgets. The budget courses are unlimited. Okay, there is no length of the budget. You just keep going. But the fast tracks that have interaction with me, they're annual courses. So we're looking to offer the extension. Again, it was COVID extensions, right? But now we're looking to bring it back. We're in negotiations to do that. Schwartzy has shared his account with me because, again, I can't get into your account. That's your account. When you set it up, that's your account. I don't have access to your stuff. So Schwartzy has been nice enough to share that with me. And if y'all don't know Schwartz is a sweetheart of a guy. This is a guy that is dedicated, and I am so blessed to have been able to have him as a student and connect with him. And he truly gives of himself, and that's a rare person, okay? If you go over to Sparky Hub and you look at what he's done to give you these questions and how diligent he is, dude, if you ever want to meet a nicer guy, and I am sometimes an asshole, but if you ever want to meet a nicest guy out there, Schwartzy, Dr. Schwartz, sweetheart of a guy, blessed to be associated with him and have him. And I want to talk about incorporating him more into what we do and being able to compensate him for that, because he's an amazing dude. So I get choked up when I even think about it, what he does to help us out. And you should take advantage of it by going to the forum and answering his questions. At least try to answer the questions, that type of thing. Anyway, enough of that. I don't know what I was talking about because I got ADD. But anyway, that's what we give you. There's so many things that we try to provide for you. We're a family here. We're not like other people. We're not like other forums. They don't care about you. You can go to your Facebook forums and post stuff on Facebook and over on other people's forums. They don't give a damn about you. We care. I care. You can even post hate stuff about me. I still care that you're successful. I really do. If you believe that, if you don't believe that, then I can't change your mind. I am here to help you be successful. I am. So in 2024, look for new courses to come out pretty rapidly. We have some that are ready to release now, but we're not going to do those until January 1st to try to release those out. We're going to take things and break them down into smaller courses, okay? Smaller, more palatable courses. Maybe you don't need the whole Fast Tracks program, but you really need certain elements of it. We're going to break that down for you. Whether it's transformers, whether it's motors, whatever it is, we're going to be incorporating these more into the website. So do me a favor. If I ask of anything, I need warriors. I need people out there to share our program, be very positive in it. Again, I don't know where there's a negative thing to have. I really don't. I don't know of anybody that invests in our program that should say anything negative about it. It's all about code. It's structured. I grade your work. You get free resources. You can post questions to me on paulabernathy.com. You got a message board. You got a chat feature. You send me stuff. I answer it. If you don't pass your exam, it's not because the content is not there for you. It may be that you are like Larry and me, that maybe you have a reading comprehension problem, or maybe you test poorly. I can help you with that. Just don't give up. I've had people that have taken my course and have done like Unit 8 5 times, and then they just get frustrated. Don't give up. Don't give up. You should never give up on yourself, because when you stop doing something, you're really just giving up on yourself. That's all. I'm not giving up on you. I'm still here. And I'm here after the sale. There's many students that got our course years ago, and I'm still helping them every day. Why? Because I want to see you succeed. That's not Paul. You don't hear the fiddles playing in the background. Ooh, hey, it's bullshit. Dude, I'm here to help you. I'm not always politically correct. I offend people. But at the end of the day, I don't care whether you're white, you're black, you're green, you're atheist, you're religious, you're Buddhist, okay? I don't care. All I care is you have a like interest. And that is to learn the National Electrical Code. And that's what my mission here. I got two missions. One is to take care of my family, take care of my wife who's struggling with this, now. But my mission is to take care of my wife and to take care of my Fast Tracks family and teach everybody before my time is done. I don't have parents anymore. They're gone. That's my mission. And that's why I will keep striving to give away stuff. I know I got to make a living. I got to create content. I have to charge for it. I'm sorry, but that's a business. But to supplement that, I will constantly try to offer value-added programs, value-added courses, as many videos and things to teach you as I can. And I will always be creative, like creating Fast Tracks Tube and creating other things like our engraved products, right? Our NFC cards that can help you get more business. I'm always coming up with things, trying my best to make it better, okay? So, all right, folks, that's really all I've got. You know what? I have nothing else left to give, to share today. Swartzy, that's your way of giving back. Dude, I appreciate you. You have no idea. You have no idea, okay? Larry, you're most welcome. You're a Fast Tracks member currently. I appreciate you. Absolutely, Larry. Appreciate everybody who has believed in us, and we will do our best to expand things for you. And if you have recommendations or things that you want, do not think that we don't listen. All you got to do is go to paulabernathy.com, paulabernathy.com, and submit it on the free portal. That's another free portal to answer questions for you. Okay? So that's all I got today, folks. Have a great Saturday. Spend some time with the family. If it's your exam study day, study hard. And I'm always here if you need me. Till next time, folks, stay safe. God bless.